Hey everyone, sorry I couldn't be in class today. I have a mandatory training that I have to go to, so I'll see you on Wednesday for sure. All right. So we started on this packet, and today I want you to finish it for those of you who haven't, and we're going to begin where we left off. So we finished over here. We started asking about questions on binary fission, right? Which is how prokaryotes replicate, right, or divide. So you should have finished that. Now we're going to continue with the cell cycle. And sometimes what happens in the cell cycle is that there are some anomalies. Okay, that means that there's some things that happen that aren't supposed to happen, right? It's an unnatural occurrence, it's a mutation, a mistake, right? And in this case, it is cancer, right? It's an awful word. So it's asking you here, right, to read page 253 to 257. But you don't have to, right? Because your good old teacher did the work for you. So all you have to do is listen to my lecture and you'll be able to answer all of these questions. All right. So we are going to start here on cancer. So we're going to do question 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do 4. And then we're going to go to the next activity, which is it's a cancer activity, pre-activity questions. So question 1 and 2 and 3. All right. And when you get here, we stop. All right. We're start talking about breast cancer, right? So we're going to stop there. So all you got to do is finish, if you haven't done so, the packet from, the packet we're working on. So we're going to finish if you haven't. And then you're going to do the cancer, all right here. All right, so we're going to start on these questions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do the cancer activity, questions 1 and 2, and the third one. All right, so you can stop there. If you feel like you want to keep going, you can. All right, so this is page 7, and you can stop at page 6, but if you feel like you want to do 7, then by all means. Okay, it's not that difficult, to be honest with you. All right, so you should know what you're going to do. Everything, your packet is in your classwork, right? And so all I got to do is go there and continue working where we left off. All right, so we are going to start today's lecture. All right, so here we go, folks. Everyone, please, volume up. And so, and listen close. All right, so cell cycle, cancer, and remember that it is October and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So what is cancer? All right, it's a malignant tumor, which are cells that multiply out of control, right? So basically what it is a cell that has gone rogue, okay? Cells are supposed to die off when they're supposed to. It's called apoptosis, which is programmed cell death, all right? And so this apoptosis, what happens is it doesn't happen for some reason. So there's a little defect, a little genetic mutation where apoptosis, so this word right there, okay, that's apoptosis. So it's programmed cell death and it doesn't happen. So what happens is the cells just take off, all right, and they divide and divide and divide without stopping. And so in some cases, yes, it is life-threatening, but it can also be benign, okay, which is non-life-threatening. Okay, so how does this thing occur? What happens? So I just told you, basically cells don't stop replicating. All right, so a tumor forms when a mutation occurs in the DNA. So we're going to our genetics, right? So sometimes it's just a mistake, right? and it's likely to make the cell divide nonstop. Okay, so I'll let y'all read this on your own, but this is how it occurs. And so what happens is when it gets to the stage where it's really bad, it starts to metastasize, and that tumor becomes malignant, right? So there's the benign, right? And then there's the malignant. So right here, oops, go back. So right here, this word right here, malignant, right? That's when it's bad. So so basically it's just a cell that has grown out of control. All right, so the tumor, all right, this is what it's called when there's an abnormal mass of tissue, right? So same thing, the cells are growing at a really fast rate, so then it's abnormal, okay, and becomes a tumor. That's the word for it, okay? It's an accumulation of cells, and they can be normal or abnormal, like I said, all right? So tumor and cancer are not the same thing, okay? A cancer is dangerous and potentially life-threatening. So that word metastasize. So this is the spread of cancer from the place where they first formed to another part of the body. In metastasis, cancer cells break away from the original, right, tumor, and they travel through the blood or the lymph system or lymph nodes, and form a new tumor in other organs and tissues of the body. All right, so there's 4 stages of cancer: 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, in these stages, the earlier stages, you know, there's still you know, help that can be given to a patient. They can do surgery, they can do chemotherapy, or use other kinds of medications. But when you get to stage 4, that's when it gets really serious, because it starts to spread to organs, and that's when surgery really isn't an option anymore, because it just spread so much. The only options is maybe chemotherapy and use of medications. But stage 4, that's when surgery isn't really helpful anymore. So like I said, so stage 4, like I said, is the stage of cancer where surgery is less effective. All right, and here's some statistics over here on the left-hand side, where stage 1 versus stage 4. All right, stage 1, if they get it in its early stage, the better, okay? And it's a better outcome and a better outlook for life, as opposed to the later stages. And so the later stages, chemotherapy, that's one of the only options to try to shrink the tumor. That's the reason they use the chemotherapy, all right? So what are some characteristics that help us identify cancer cells? So biologists, scientists, doctors use microscopes to look at samples or biopsies of cells. So a biopsy is when they go in there, and let's say they take a sample from your lungs, right? They go in there, they probe in, and they remove tissue. They'll look at it under a microscope, and so a normal cell is really distinguishable from a cancer cell, right? And as you can see here, it's quite obvious that we can clearly identify which ones are the cancer cells, right? Due to their shape, and also how many cells there are, right? So let's say they're not supposed to be that many, and they're arranged really in a just disorganized arrangement. All right, the size and the shape, and also just normal features, you know, don't look right. So again, normal cell versus the cancer cell. So any cell in the body has the potential to become cancerous, right? If it can divide, builds up mistakes in certain genes, and these faults cause it to grow out of control, like I said before, right? So any cell in the body that divides has the potential to become cancerous. Now remember, it can become lethal, right, life-threatening, or non-life-threatening. All right, it's benign. Okay, so and here's what it looks like. Okay, normal, hyperplasia, dysplasia, and then there you have what it looks like with cancer. And that's pretty much it, folks. So make sure you get to work on the packet. So let's go back really quick. So remember, we're going to go up to here, right? Question 3 in the pre-activity. And if you want, if there's time, you can go on to the breast tissue for the breast cancer awareness. Go there. If not, you can stop here. All right, it's an option I'm giving you. So all these questions I have covered in my lecture. The slides will be provided in your class materials, so you can refer to those if you need to. All right, so question number 1 says, what abnormal mass begins to form when cancerous cells divide uncontrollably? So I pretty much gave you that one. Oh, there it is. Okay, I gave you one. Merry Christmas. All right, so I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Be good. Okay, bye-bye.